Alright guys, so I'm going to be talking about, this is another, like, what-if scenario, and as you can see from the title, what if Omni-Man existed in the MHA universe, the My Hero Academia universe? What if, like, basically, like, what if Omni-Man was a pro-hero? Like, what would that ensue? Like, what would that mean? Like, for this scenario, as always, we're not going to have, like, the other characters from Invincible. It's just Omni-Man. Like, that's really what it is it's just Omni-Man. It's just Omni-Man on his own, doing his own things. And what would his effect be on the world, as well as what would the effect, like, obviously you'd still have the Viltrumites, but, like, we'll get to that when we get to that. So that's kind of what this what-if scenario is. Like, instead of landing in the Invincible universe, came to this Earth. So, obviously, Omni-Man, you know, first off, the world is, like, the world of My Hero Academia is filled with, like, 80% of its people are meta-humans. They have superhuman abilities, they have quirks in one facet or another. And it's not like with Invincible, where most of the like a lot of the characters don't have there are non-human people with no powers, and there's only a handful that are. Here, 80% of the species of this version of Earth is filled with superhumans. So, for the Viltrumites, they're always looking for, you know, finding new worlds to conquer and finding, like, more powerful blood to interbreed with. Forcefully, unfortunately. So, I think, like, the Viltrumites would look at this version of Earth, if they existed in this universe, and be like, yeah, this Earth is filled with, you know, beings with great power. Maybe we could breed with the strongest and wipe out the rest. And first off, we'll start off with the 20% who have no powers. I think they would also understand that, like, if a species like this is like 80% metahuman, they would be dealing with some resistance, but also be like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, we're gonna have a grand old time taking care of these motherfuckers. Like, we were built for this. Now, obviously, when Nolan goes down to Earth, he's gonna be seen as a pro-hero. In fact, I think he's gonna even they would even hide that he came from space. He would even say, like, yeah, these are my quirks, like, I have multiple quirks. The big question you have to ask yourself now is, if Omni-Man's being seen as a pro-hero, is he the number one? Because we all know All Might is the number one in the universe. So, I honestly think Omni-Man, like, how powerful he is, I think he might actually take the number one spot as the number one pro-hero on Earth. He would be seen as, like, this shining example of just raw power and, like, the most powerful hero out there. Flying in super strength, never getting tired, because all those quirks are, like most quirks in the My Hero universe are, you know, they are based around, they're based around the idea, it's like kind of like a muscle that you're flexing, and that muscle does get tired or it gets torn. Nolan doesn't have that problem. Nolan doesn't have that problem. He, in no way, shape, or form, he can keep being a hero. He can still, he doesn't get tired. I think the other pro heroes, when he works with them, they would look at him and go, how are your quirks not getting tired? And he's like, oh, you know, training. All Might, I think, would see, like, Nolan as, like, because obviously Nolan puts on a face as Omni-Man, and I think he, like, All Might and Omni-Man would be, like, you know, great friends. Like, All Might would be all for, like, being friends with Omni-Man. He would just be like, you know, good to see you, Omni-Man. Let's go take out these villains. And Endeavor would definitely... If you thought Endeavor hated All Might, could you just imagine Endeavor's hate boner for Omni-Man? Like, really think on that real fast. Like, how big of a hate boner would would Endeavor have for Omni-Man? It would just be even more so than that. So, the question the other thing you really have to think about is another effect this would have, with Nolan being the number one pro hero. What's Deku gonna do? Is Deku gonna still be a fan of All Might? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Deku would, Deku may not even become the hero we know him to be. He might still be a quirkless human being because he would see Omni-Man and just be like, wow, Omni-Man's so awesome. I can't believe, like, he, you know, he can do all these great things. He truly is the greatest pro hero of all time. I want to be a pro hero, but I'll never be able to do that. I think even, like, if he ever ran into Omni-Man, I think he would be like, Omni-Man would be like, well, son, you just keep thinking that. Bye now. Boom! Here I go. He's like, I'm gonna fucking destroy these people, starting with those weaklings like him. So, but yeah, would all, like, there's always that, now again, this is a what-if scenario, so you can't really say anything, like, definitive, but, like, if there's anything to go on, Omni-Man would, might even change the course of Deku's life. And in doing so, a lot of the villains might, the problem is that, like, Omni-Man can't kill his opponents. It's not like with the Global Guardians where they may be able to, like, take out a few people. But really here, as a pro hero, he can't be seen killing. He'd have to go to jail for it. He would have to send them to jail. He would have to send the villains to prison. But I do think, no, like, if he did kill All For One, everyone would, like, be like, yeah! You know, go Omni-Man, you're the hero we really need, not All Might. And God, could you just imagine All For One taking Omni-Man's ability, like, All For One taking Omni-Man's abilities? Like, really just think on that real quick, of how absolutely terrifying that mental image would be. The other implication is obviously with, a lot of the superhumans in My Hero Academia, the pro heroes included, don't really just have one ability, and a lot of them aren't, like, super level as the same level as in the superheroes in the Invincible universe. I mean, we saw that there are characters in the Invincible universe that even gave Omni-Man a run for his money. So when that time comes, when he has to, like, Global Guardian the fucking pro heroes, there's not really anyone that could stand up to him. The only one who could possibly be any of a real challenge to Omni-Man, to Nolan, in a full-on fist fight, the only one who could stand up to him is maybe All Might. And I do stress that as a hard maybe, that All might be, and remember, this would still be this could be a universe where maybe Omni-Man saves All Might from that injury he took during his fight with All For One. There's a chance that they might happen, or, you know, Omni-Man might see the potential threat in All Might and let him get injured, then fly in, is like, I'm sorry I couldn't save you sooner. So either way, All Might is, like, really the only person who could maybe, I do stress maybe, because power levels are bullshit. I'm sorry, Dragon Ball Z fans, but we all know power levels are total bullshit. It doesn't fucking matter. So that's really what it comes down to, is that All Might, and I have to stress maybe, could be the only one, and even then with his injury he could still be killed, and his no killing code, there's still that. But, like, as for other characters, yeah, Omni-Man would probably take out a lot of them, and just wait till the Viltrumites come. Like, he would definitely get them ready for a Viltrumite invasion. Some of them a lot of the superhumans may submit. We do see in the My Hero Academia universe that a lot of the characters are kind of driven by their own selfish needs. A lot of the not in the same level as the boys, but, like, they're very selfish and like, have their own kind of wants and needs. So a lot of them could just easily submit. The ones that Nolan doesn't kill first. That's what I'm trying to say, is, like, the ones Nolan, you know, doesn't fucking annihilate. Anyway. So, you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you think it would be like if Nolan existed in the My Hero universe? Just comment below, let me know. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.